So sorry, folks. So sorry for that, and welcome each and every one of you. Hopefully this one's going to be all right, folks. We do appreciate it. And once again, you guys shouldn't have to go through any of this, unfortunately, but thank you so much for being there with us through it all. You really do rock. You're absolutely awesome. If you guys could really, I'm asking from the bottom of my heart, I'm really asking is really, truly is hit that like button as hard as you can and tweet it out so people come to the right one. That would be absolutely awesome. We're not going to be on for too long tonight. So if you could do that from the bottom of our heart, thank you from both of us. This is just the way it is on here, I guess, sometimes, unfortunately. And you guys are troopers to be there with us through it all. So thank you so very much. And once again, it's so sad because it's such an important message. And this is one of the first times most people are going to hear about that. It's late breaking, so wanted to get you guys in. And YouTube has changed so much, like we can't even put like late breaking news, stuff like that, everything into it. Because that most likely is triggering it now with the advent of trying to bring in more and more.
Let's not even talk about it.
Yeah, let's not even talk about it. Exactly. Hey there, I want to say hello to everybody. Just give me 1 second, folks. I'm still just sorting out. We got coffee. Oh, thank you so much. Your son, take this one.
It's been a slice this week, I must tell you guys.
Yes.
Between everything, and we're not done yet. Tomorrow is going to be some happy, hopefully, things going on.
Yes, better days ahead for all. I'm praying, hoping, praying.
That's right. But for now, we're going to be diving into the topic in just a little bit of time. And we're just going to let you come in and say hi and draw the winner of the comment from the previous stream and all of that stuff. And then we dive right into the breaking news that actually haven't been really broken out just yet, but they are on the horizon. Yeah.
That's right. You were expecting me to be singing, Tony? You wouldn't want that. That would not work in our favor. Xenia actually likes when I sing. I don't like to be sing. And sometimes she's actually, because she does the corny wife thing, she'll hide out in the hallway if I'm singing along with something to hear me.
Well, when you play guitar and you sing at the same time. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that's true. So, but she's my wife. She's very understanding compared to a lot of you folks. It's the love, not the notes. So, thank you guys so much, folks. Once again, if you guys can please hit the like button and tweet it out. We had to restart. The other one was a mess. We've been through a lot today. Believe you me, anybody who was here in the afternoon, it was unbelievable. So if you guys can help us out in that would be so hugely appreciated, because he said he went to all the work to to putting it out there, but the problem is now it's going to go to a dead link. So we appreciate it. Andrew whips out the Van Halen Panama. Yes, I haven't played that one in a long time. I think that's the first thing most people ever heard me play on here, if I'm not mistaken. That's right. Let me hit that thumbs up for you. Thank you so much, the Weird Desk USA. It means the world to us. Andrew, I'm taking yoga. Try it. You'll be more bendable. Okay. Free to laugh now. I will take that under advisement. Thank you so very much for that. You guys are absolutely awesome. You always make it so much better. It's such a pleasure to have you all in. So many great people. Andrew, I've been practicing guitar for 2 months, and I'm going to upload a guitar solo on the Squirrel soon.
Ooh, nice.
Please do. Yes, you let me know when that comes out. I would definitely love to see that. For sure.
Super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat. Hey, you, thank you. Thank you so much for the super sticker, super chat. Thank you, West Haven, always and forever.
Oh, thank you so very much. Do appreciate it. You're so kind, Elena. You always are. You're always so supportive in that. Thank you so very much. And a ton of love to you. Alrighty, folks, there we go. We're going to get ready to announce the winner from today. My poor wife's having trouble. I bought her a new microphone stand.
Yes, amazing microphone stand.
Yes, but of course, in true wife fashion, there's something to complain about all the time. And I agree on this one is turning a bit, but I thought she installed it because I had to run and do all this stuff because we were late getting on, plus get my son. So I sat here working on everything, not knowing that her mic is swinging away on her. And like a true wife told me about 4 minutes before we went live, so
I told you all, guys, in our previous show how I am with technicalities, or technical stuff, or I'm not. So
timing,
still same thing.
Timing.
Yeah. But it's beautiful stand here. You'll see it once we have it. Super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat. Out country, thank you so much for the super sticker, super chat. Yes, click that thumbs up and share it out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Computer Chick.
This was part of the Valentine's gift, Computer Chick, in true your fashion, I think. The laptop stand and this microphone stand, which is pretty fancy, I must say. I even think it sounds better now.
Well, I can send you a cone of silence for super chat, the super sticker, super chat.
Why, like a doggies? Those, those white ones? Is that what you're talking about? Queen Elizabeth from whichever century was there.
Welcome to Tech Talk Tuesday. It's good to have you all here. You should try that some night.
We should.
You piqued my interest.
We should. Now, I'm going to go and change all the links from the previous event, wherever I shared it out. And while I'm doing that, you can click that like and share it out as well. It awfully helps. And get her done, Granny. Aw, thank you so much.
Should we get you a cup of coffee after all you went through today?
Super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat. Coffee time. Yes, tons of coffee. Oh my God, and lots of sleep after. That's what we're looking for. And Nomad Unbroken Raid. We have Nomad Unbroken.
Thank you so very much. Welcome, Go Fish Office. Good to see you. And thank you so much to Nomad Unbroken. Nomad Unbroken is, well, he's just so awesome. I can't even begin to describe how awesome he is. Thank you so very much for thinking of us, buddy. Just upgraded my mixer to the Behringer 1204. That is awesome. Congratulations, Construction Conan. I love hearing when people are doing that. That is awesome. Love it.
Yeah, he has that upgrade bug as well as you do.
Good. I like that. I like that a lot. Hey there, Barrel Boy. How are you? Great to see you. And more eats. Hope you're doing well. Spider John, Andrew, take her documents away. It will work. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Make sure no addresses.
No address on this one. But the documents are here. Let me tell you.
We're getting hit enough. Nickel and Dime is here from the raid. Welcome, Nomad Raid. Thank you so very much. You guys are awesome. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Thank you so very much.
Guys, this is investigative journalism at its best. What we're going to be hearing here today from both of us. So stick around.
Guys, this is hot off the press, so you're not going to want to miss it. It affects each and every one of us. It's, so I'm glad you are here. Let's just say, I'm glad you are all here. I'm going to first all say hi to all you folks, and then we're going to talk about the winners from today. Even though it's just this afternoon, that means there's another chance to win your shout-out tonight. Be the last person to comment in this chat, and as well, the last person in this chat will win a shout-out. As well, anybody who leaves a comment on this live stream when it's over, a non-topic comment, not like 23 or any of that garbage, which none of you guys do, which I'm proud of you for. We're going to have a random draw for a winner there as well. So there's 2 chances to get one. So make sure you get on both. I want to say a great big hello to World Bike Boat Party. We have Will's Petting Zoo and Garden. What the? Paranormal, because I love them so much. They know I love them. I choose them all the time with their name. West Haven, always and forever. Voidpex is in the house. Viewed this, a.k.a. Tony, is here. We have TL Travel. The World Desk US is in the house. The Lone G, welcome. We have the Indoor-Outdoor Gardener. The Artist Devil. Susan Allison's Vlogs is here. Sunny J Shores. Rock Truck Rob is in the house. Ralph's Trucking. Punchy Paints is in the house. I almost corrected myself to say Punchy Pants. See, this is how,
my God.
I almost corrected myself subconsciously. Philip Cockram is in the house, guys. How fitting, because tomorrow is our 2-year anniversary since we returned to YouTube. And Philip Cockram is one of those channels that's been with us for...
That always says more wifey.
That always says more wifey. Yes, that's right. And I agree. I agree with him. That's right. Shasta Valley Outdoorsman, how are you? Welcome. We got Paul Peck Drywall Tube in the house. We got Patricia Norwood's Hobbies and Reborns. Out Countries in the house. Nomad Unbroken Live, thank you so much for the raid, my friend. You rock, and then some. Nickel and Dime is in here. Folks, I just want to remind you, we had to restart the stream and all the meddling today, so if you guys can tweet it out, hit the like button, that stuff, invite friends, whatever. It is so hugely appreciated today because the algorithm's not even going to want to push us after all this mess. Nickel and Dime, once again, thank you so much for being here, part of the raid. My Non-Traditional Life is here. Mud Nuts Reviews, More Eats is in the house. We have Meme Resells and Max the Collector. Lottery of Life is in the house. Life After Life TV Productions. We have Laura Bruno, LC Adventures. Jenny O'Brien is in the house. We got Jake Drone Addiction. Inspired John, the man that is rocking YouTube and TikTok. How you doing? We have Hey It's Jen in the house. John Joe's Fast Facts is here. We have Hey It's Jen. Heaven Gates Cherry Farm. Go Fish Office is in the house by the raid as well. Thank you. We have Get in Shape, Feeling Great. Get Her Done Granny, who's such a sweetheart. I felt so bad for you today. Game and Rubik's Liam is in the house. 4Ks. We love Raid. We got Food Galore Mexico. You know who else we got in here?
Who?
Boom!
Oh,
Farm All Fanatic in the house.
sake.
That's right. Fabulous Designs on a Budget is in the house.
Place or time.
Well, I asked you. E-Man is in the house. We got Cordboard TV in the house. Construction Cronies, congratulations once again on your upgrade. Computer Chick Productions, who's got my back, and I appreciate that. Cronus Creon is in the house. Christine is in the house. Callie Christoph is in the house. Brassard Homestead. Bruni Kitty is in the house. Brant Ariels is in the house. Bougie Boars 2001 is in the house. Beyond the Veil Investigations. Barrel Boy Woods. It's great to have you all in here. Thank you so much for being here. What an absolutely great, fantastic, spectacular looking group. I just love to take a picture of you all. I just love you all to stand there. Just get a good shot. He is a good shot.
I'm taking a picture with them, not taking part of a picture with you.
How about of it?
No selfies.
No selfies? All right, there you go. You heard the lady. You heard the lady, folks. All righty. Where am I here? Let's pick our winner. What do you think?
Yes.
right.
Well, we have just started a new way of shouting you out, guys. A random comment gets picked out from the previous live stream, and you have a special shout out.
That's right, folks. So let's see who our winners are from this afternoon. Here We Grow Again is in the house. How are you? Stacy, how are you? Great to see you. Always a pleasure. The Indoor-Outdoor Gardener is in the house. Hope you're doing fantastic. Above and Beyond Drones is in the house. Fantastic to see you. Playworthy is here. South GA Phoenix. Just tons of great channels coming in by the minute, folks. Thank you so much, each and every one of you being here. And we're going to get into it in just a minute. All right, folks. So, comment of the day. Anybody join us that doesn't know about this yet? We had a live stream this afternoon. It was amazing. We got trolled worse than God knows what, but we persevered. We even stayed on longer because if they don't like you, you always fight that by staying on longer. That's my way of handling things. So we have two ways of winning a free shout out now. The first one is random draw comment shout out winner. So I got all the comments from this afternoon's live stream, and we're going to pick a random one right now and see who the winner is. And the winner is Cece. Cece is the winner today. There you go. Let me get your channel up here, Cece. See, I'm still getting used to this. I'm still not quite getting the hang of it. I forgot to bring these channels up ahead of time. So Cece was our comment of the day. Where are you, Cece? Where are you? There's Cece right there. Let's show Cece. Oh, yeah. Then you see you can't see him here. Cece, where is he? There's Cece. There's Cece. You want to put the link in the chat, hon?
Sure, I have it already.
Good job. I like you a lot.
I like you too.
Oh, see, everything is just getting happier and happier and happier. So there you go, folks. Big winner to CC for leaving his comment in the chat. And all you have to do, folks, is leave an on-topic one. And the same thing tonight. When this stream is over, make sure to leave something in the comments section, and we'll enter you in the draw next time. So the first one goes out to CC, and congratulations to you. And now, for the last person that left a comment in our live stream, who was it? Drum roll. And that's Eastern European. Drum roll in Eastern European means trumpet. So there you go. Just in case you weren't sure, there, a little language lesson for you all. All right, folks. Now that we've had a trumpet roll, the winner is Perez. I want to get you up there. Perez Fishing Club. Perez Fishing Club is our winner of the day, folks. Let's bring him up here on this screen. So Perez Fishing Club is the winner for the shout out from the last comment in the chat. And the winner for the comment section random is CC. So congratulations to you both. Make sure to check out both those channels. Did I say him? Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Jay. I usually try to say they. Thank you so much for correcting me on that. I'm so sorry. My head's a little flustered after today, let's just call it. How about that? That sounds like an honest answer. So congratulations to CC and to Perez Fishing Club. And don't forget your chance tonight, folks. Make sure you're the last person to comment in the chat, and also leave a comment on this live stream so you can have a chance for a shout out as well. Farmall says, I'm the loser of the day. Oh my God, no. Anything but, my God. That's not a happy outlook.
We always say that it's the great way for you to get known is to put your name out there as much as possible. And this is your free way, actually 2 chances for you to get your name out there. And the more the better.
Yep.
So during this live stream as well, the last comment on the live chat as well as the random pick comment from the comments below after the live stream will be shouted out tomorrow.
That's right. And I got another winner. Oh, no. There's the winner. Limited monetization again. Request review. Why the hell not? There you go.
Well, at least that was later on.
That was later on. It at least gave us a fighting chance. Thank you, YouTube, for helping us out. I owe you big time. All right. Are we cynical today? A little. A little. But nonetheless, we got something here that affects each and every YouTuber, folks, and we're going to jump into it in just a second. I'm going to get into this conversation. You guys are great. Once again, then, more than ever, if you guys can hit the like button, tweet out, and all that stuff, it helps immensely, especially with all this crap going on. Cassie So Sassy is in the house. How are you? Glad you're in here. I missed you because I love saying your name. You have one of those fun names that's always great to get. It is. When you get to call everybody's names, Cassie So Sassy. It's just perfect. It's made to be shouted out. North of 54 Cinematography. What is going on? Great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. Hey, Jenna's in here. Sunny J Shores. Quebec Homestead's in the house. Weird Desk US. Laura Bruno's in here. Hi, my friends. Well, big hello to you, Cassie. Hope you're doing fantastic. Get Her Done Granny. Memes Sells. Food Galore Mako. Our Haunted Travels is another channel we've known from very early on. One of our early guests, as well as Farmall Fanatic was an early on guest. And we're going to be celebrating 2 years of coming back to YouTube tomorrow. That's right. We came back 2 years during the adpocalypse. Adpocalypse, my friends, is what inspired us to come back to YouTube. Sounds weird, doesn't it? We'll talk about that more tomorrow, why. So there is a reason behind that. And there's one person we owe it all to. Mm-hmm. One person. There you go, guys. There's the reason why we came back. Peter McKinnon and his video I made 55 cents on YouTube is the reason why we came back. And we'll talk about that more tomorrow as well. So that's what inspired us to come back to YouTube and try and resurrect our channel. All right. Is there anything else, Xenia, we need to cover before we get going?
Well, I'd like to remind you that we still are running our sale on our Blue Orange Group merchandise with 20% off on all items, and the collection of older items, the classic ones, are going to be rehauled, revamped for the month of March. So if you have looked at something and wanted to get it, this is your time. It might be gone by March. And check out our new add-ons as well for the limited time, only on the month of February, all inspired by you, Triggered Happy, and the Food Court for your mind. Also available at 20% off just this month with code FAB20. Check it out, and we hope that 20% will outweigh the shipping costs for those of you that are outside the U.S.
That's right, folks. And make sure to get your Pusa Studios retail sticker. Buy 500 items, you get a sock.
We do have stickers, by the way.
Yeah, we
5-inch tools available.
Oh, you
Well, you started it.
I know. There you go. There's your 5-inch tool.
5-inch tool. Hashtag Blue Orange Group available there as well. It's a 5-inch tool, a sticker right there. 20% off.
She's not really used to the math. She thinks the 5 inches is like mind blowing, but yeah. She comes from a place where they're like, oh, I got a great guy. He's got 268 millimeters. So there you go.
Well, 5 inches is pretty good for a tool. I don't know. I'm talking about stickers. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know why we ever get limited monetization.
No,
I have no idea.
I wonder. They already know that they just should be doing it by default. Exactly. That's while it's still wrapped, inspired John.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. Now we're talking about the cold Canada and wrapping stations here, for gifts.
Oh jeez. By the way, you were talking about cold. There you go. That's what it looked like this morning. There's a nice shot of a crazy ass morning. It started off with a bang. It just seemed to continue through the day. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, it was quite blizzardy.
Yeah, and that's like between gusts. Like when it was Gus. There was actually a bad accident because of it, and there's what did they say? 60-some people are gone to the hospital. There was a bad pile up on the 15 highway, the 15 south, the whiteout hit.
Really? Wow.
School buses, everything into it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are everybody okay? I mean.
Yeah, but they actually had to get a shuttle bus to take people to the hospital. There was that many. There was no not enough, near enough ambulances.
Wow, I missed all that while I was doing YouTube. Okay, well, this is what happens, unfortunately. Life goes while we're doing YouTube. I hope everybody's fine in a long run there.
Yeah.
Keep that in Montreal. Yes, apparently West Coast is getting some nice weather, so we're hoping it's going to come this way soon. Quebec Homestead, there you go.
Get her done, Granny. 5 is doable. Miss Pusa Studios.
We're so going to bring back that adult Pictionary that we used to do when we started our live streams. Back then, they weren't demonetizing those, so. Anybody willing to host us to have an adult Pictionary on their channel?
Oh, get her done, Granny. There you go. Oh my God. Yeah, yellow sign. That's right, formal. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah.
Is this Cards Against Humanity?
And look who walks in when it happens. Best friend in your thread.
Oh, look at that. She knows. She knows. And Lodge is here, broke his oil pan driving over a chunk of ice.
Oh, no.
That's not good. He's in Montreal as well. And Quebec Homestead here as well. 200 cars. Crazy.
That is crazy. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. So sorry to hear that.
Yeah. John, we used to play Adult Pictionary. Yep. Best friend in your thread, and Lodge knows everything about it. And I bet Philip Cockram is going to be here as well.
Philip Cockram was my go-to when I couldn't think of something.
Yeah, Panic D's here. Panic D knows about that.
Panic D, more than enough about that. Yeah, that's right.
So anybody, we gladly will host that, but not on our channel.
Oh, I know of states, here we go again, exactly. Even in Florida, I mean, it's huge fluctuations. And I know some up here, they get, and the same as down there with the heat, some get snobby. Oh, that's just a day at the park for us. That's a big jump when you're talking 45 degrees Fahrenheit and change. That's getting off a plane in a new place at that point, Oh. Crazy weather. In Germany, shooting. Wow. Ooh, that's not good.
Oh my goodness. What is going on today? Changstrom 28. So sorry to hear that if you are in Germany.
Yes.
OZTV, I'll have to time you out. You very well know that if you put the channel name and emoji repeatedly, it is a spam. I will have to time you out. Please don't do that. Good morning.
That is awful. I'm just looking that up about Germany right now.
You missed everything from the news with everything going on today.
Wow.
Well, at least you kept up with local news.
Yeah. Graceful Spirit and Ray, how are you? Welcome. I think it's time we get into it. What do you think?
And Inspired John is trying to do that tomorrow. So if you do that, don't forget to refer to us, please. Yeah? Okay.
One last big plea to everybody, folks. We had to restart again. Everything has been so wonky today. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. It really makes a gigantic difference. And if you can just take a minute and tweet it out, it makes all the difference in the world. Yellow coin or not, it really does make a big difference, folks. So if you can help us out there, we greatly appreciate it. So today was horrible, but you guys stuck through us through all of that. We got to fix the end. Looks like we found the culprit. Thank you so very much for being there with us and helping us continue on. It really meant a lot. It really did. Thank you so much. All right. You ready to get into it?
Yes. So let's turn our frown the other way around, or the smile upside down.
A little bit of that, a little bit of home in there for you. There you go.
And this is a serious topic, and it's super serious. But pay attention. It is super serious. It will affect everyone. This is one of those things that will be coming into place super soon, especially if you are in U.S. Like, it is super active right now, and you might not even know, but you can still make a change if you contact your local legislature. So let's see what is going on here. Let me open here. Okay. So internet censorship, no more safe harbor for internet users. We're going to be talking today about the day that internet and free speech basically dies.
That's right. That's right.
And while you will say you are over-exaggerating, no. Let me tell you what is going on right now. Today, in fact, what was going on. We're going to be talking about the Article 230 that says, no provider or user of an interactive computer service shall be treated as a publisher or speaker of any information provided by another information content provider. Well, what it means in fact is that in February 1995, a senator introduced a Communications Decency Act, and this 230 that you're going to be hearing a lot today was a part of this legislature. What it means that it protects all the multi-user platforms like blogs, like forums, like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google, basically anywhere and anywhere where people can post their own content, where people can comment on the content. It protected those websites, those kind of platforms from legal civil suits and therefore protected freedom of speech. Basically, they couldn't really censor, so to say, just because the government tells them to, or another company doesn't like what some user have been writing. They can't really censor it, and nobody can really put any
it was invoked for that
against
reason, to stop that, exactly, with the fear and the way it was being pertained to by people. That was to protect them from that, because that's where it was starting to lead to. So
exactly, essentially it allows platforms like Twitter or YouTube to host the posts, videos, for example, with YouTube, without being forced to censor the posts by other individuals, companies, or government. It was one of the major base laws for freedom of speech. Basically, freedom of speech on internet as a whole is based on this 230 law. Well, not for now. You can come back to us. I think it's going to be for a while till we get to the next one.
Yeah, I was going to say it was jumping far ahead.
Yeah, so now it is all changing right now. And for those of you that are in US and are all for freedom of speech, this is going to be touching some sensitive subjects right there, guys. Now, they have started to shake the boat from all different sides right there. And on one hand, it's a very honorable pretense of shaking that 230 law and maybe trying to change some aspects of it because they want to be preventing online child exploitation, which would be amazing if they do that. In fact, one of the senators, that's exactly why they want to redo the 230. The problem is that by redoing 230,
and before that, even the ones that are backing and pushing for this most are the biggest corporate parts of legacy media, which usually tends to tie in all these things. So usually things that sound with good intentions, you got to peel the onion back a bit and see who's backing it, who's the biggest supporters of it, who's been advocating for it the most. So all good intentions are paved with some pretty awful push from the back end, and that's definitely a case in here to be made. So
exactly. The 230 only frees up the companies and the platforms from the civil lawsuits and not the criminal. So whatever they're pushing with regards to preventing online child exploitation or any kind of harmful content is already protected by other types of laws and criminal law. So the question is, why would they actually be trying to do that with 230? And as Andrew said, in fact, there are multiple sources towards that. When we were talking about COPPA, and yes, you're probably surprised hearing about this, many of us, us included, and many other creators, have voiced the opinion that at the time sounded like conspiracy theory, that the children content policy changes on YouTube and on internet altogether have been brought into effect at the very weird coincidental timing with Disney going with their own streaming service live at the same time, and other other streaming services as well, just spurted up all at the same time, especially the kid ones, the ones geared to kids. Back then, people said, no, it's just a coincidence, it's just coincidence that this creators have to now reduce the content made for kids, and Disney at the same time is doing their stuff. It's just all coincidence. Well, not anymore. Sometimes there is some basis for conspiracy theories, and there it is, the answer for that one. A combination for all different powerful companies, including Disney, who, by the way, for now owns Fox TV. Did you know that? Did you know that? They owned Fox.
Mm-hmm.
As well as IBM and all different other big companies are lobbying the lawmakers to remove Section 230. Yes, that's right. The big companies like Disney, like IBM, and others are lobbying lawmakers to remove Section 230. So basically, to remove the Freedom of Speech on Internet Act altogether. And now we're having some weird sounds. Okay. So there you go. Yes, that's right. That's what they are trying to do all the way since the beginning of January. Well, I must say, pretty much successful. Pretty much successful. And why do I say that? Because today, the Justice Departments have held a workshop on Section 230, together with the representatives of the above-mentioned legacy companies. That's right. The official Justice Department of U.S. had a workshop today dedicated to removing the Section 230, the freedom of speech on internet, together with the heads and representatives of these legacy companies. I must also say that there's also newspaper conglomerate that is adding to that as well. The newspapers, the ones that are still in press and maybe haven't really got a hold of the internet world altogether, have been lobbying from their side to remove the 230 section because they are worried they're not going to be able to survive in this ever-growing industry of internet.
So in short, up to this point, folks, I see some people that were asking, they didn't quite understand. In short, there's a law right now, Section 230, that protects YouTube and all these online publishers, we'll call them for a second, just to simple it up. So Facebook, YouTube, etc. That they cannot be held liable if somebody puts up controversial content and stuff like that. They're not going to be the ones touched with lawsuits and that. They're protected at this point. And what's happening is they're lobbying right now to say, hey, we got to protect children. There's too much garbage on YouTube, on the internet. So we want this law taken back. So they're going to have to make more of a change to be responsible for the content they put out. Otherwise, they're going to be liable as well. So if I or you, put out something that's bad, we'll just call it. We're not going to get into details because of YouTube right now, the way it censors, checks all of our stuff, that they can go after YouTube itself for hosting it, even though they didn't have a hand into it. And that all sounds well and good. And, on the surface, it's like, yeah, good. Make them accountable. They deserve it. Their responsibility. Not right at all. For the simple part is that's all going to trickle back onto us in the end. And especially not right because it doesn't change the criminal side of it. It just all it does is for suing and going onto YouTube, which would benefit who? Big companies in legacy media. As Xenia mentioned, Fox, all newspapers, etc., that have been whining and complaining that internet is eating away at their business. Now they can come back on them, find any frivolous thing, or anytime some dummy puts up something stupid that's fake news, they can actually come back on YouTube or on Facebook or on Instagram or whatever the platform is. That's the biggest issue with all of it. So that's where we're at right about now. I think I summed everything up.
Yeah, you're right.
Where we're at.
And I just sent you the infographic that maybe we're going to be helping a little bit better to understand the law 230 altogether. Well, as of now, all the platforms are under the safe harbor, and that's why we called that in the title. That's exactly how it's called. All the major platforms and the internet in general is in this safe harbor position right now, where they are pretty much safe against any kind of lawsuits like that. If this law gets removed, as we all know, all of that gets passed on to the users. So you would say, well, only YouTube or whatever, Twitter would get sued. Well, that's not how it works. As we know with COPA, it all gets passed down to the users, limiting their abilities to post anything And also the liability itself gets passed on to the users of internet or the platforms as well.
Folks, this is really big the way it's laid out. I don't know how well you're going to see it, but I'm just going to open it up and I'll just slowly come down as you're talking through it.
Yeah, and I'm going to be definitely putting the links in the description afterwards as well, so you'll be able to go and check it out all by yourself as well, including the actual law too. So what will happen if they actually do decide to remove 230? Well, that will inevitably lead to greater censorship and difficulty in enabling the public to speak out. Companies like Google and Facebook say, on one hand, that Section 230 it actually protects building businesses on internet, and without this, it would be impossible to exist online. Because anything basically can be prosecuted.
Yep, the reprimands would be so severe. Who would want to take a chance? And would you want to if you were in their shoes? That's the biggest question. Of course not. We can all sit there and say they make a lot of money and stuff. Nobody with any mind in business is going to want to play along in this game because nothing is stacked in your favor. You're basically set up for failure. You're set up for lawsuit upon lawsuit upon lawsuit. There's only so much you can handle, even at a corporation that size, of all these different social medias.
Now, you would say that Google would be definitely all against it. You would say that Facebook and Twitter would be shouting through their lungs to not remove the Section 230. Well, for now, there is no real answer from Google or Twitter or YouTube officials, but there's answer from Facebook.
Here's our favorite. This is our moment of the night. This is the shocker. Everybody is shocked to see this. No provider or user of an internet.
Next one.
Oh, it jumped over. That's why. Okay, there we go. What happened here? Why did it go? There we go. I was going to say, we need more oversight and accountability. People need to feel that global technology performs answer to someone. So regulation should hold companies accountable when they make mistakes. Signed, Mark Zuckerberg, founder and CEO of Facebook. And I want to weigh in on this one, if you don't mind, for a second. I know a lot are shocked that he'd say that. But honestly, this is my thinking behind it, and I think even Facebook, YouTube and that is starting to come this way. So just give me 1 second to plead my case. You've seen the way things have been going. You've seen the way they're pushing to get rid of fake news, which I agree with, which I'm all for. Don't get me wrong, I am. There's too much garbage out there. I'll be the first to say it. But their way of handling fake news is just to go with what they call legitimate news sources, which of course are the major TV networks and the major newspapers. And there's a lot of money generated from them. And you know what? There's money for him to be made in that, as well as his viewership is going up in age and stuff like that as well. So a more dedicated fashion gives them all kinds of opportunities. And like YouTube wants stuff more like television. Will Smith, late night shows, all them get pushed, as well as CNN and Fox. There's no discrepancy, folks, in this. Whatever side you're on to, polarized in politics, when it comes to this, both are getting the same push. Both of them, CNN and Fox, and that's all the. But that takes then somebody else out, like Philip DeFranco, and all them that have become, in my opinion, legitimate news sources on here. Whether you like them or not, there's lots that can be had that spent years homing that and becoming just as well polished to do news as anybody else on the television and newspaper circuit. But that's not what the bigger companies want, because they don't want to lose all their jobs by going to people doing it on YouTube. So this is a great way for them all to be in cahoots together and work out a way that cuts out a lot of people being able to do something on here that's original and independent, to just get money and kickbacks and pushes from the major ones that are basically going out of business. Because why? They're outdated. And once again, instead of ceasing with the times and working with it, which they did try for a bit, in all fairness, but now just realize it's not such an easy competition on here like it was when there was only a couple of major networks. So what do? Now they're going to try to push out all the YouTube people. That's how I see this all playing out. That's just my personal opinion. Nobody else's. And once again, nothing to do with politics. I don't care if you're a Republican, Democrat, on the right or the left, CNN, Fox, or both. You got to realize this is bigger than that. It's talking across. Don't ever think that those two meetings those two companies don't ever shake hands now and then on a couple of agreements. We've seen it here happen in Canada to keep out cellular competition. The big three got together, TELUS, Bell, and Rogers, and effectively kicked out Verizon and them from trying to come into Canada and stuff like that. It happens all the time. They're direct competitors, and they make all kinds of commercials about how they despise the other one. But don't think they're not willing to get together when it benefits them to keep their money machine going. So that's my thoughts on it. I just want to stop and say that part.
Yeah, exactly, and it is so right. And you guys are more than welcome to put your thoughts about that in the chat as well. Well, you all know that Facebook have been gone under the scrutiny about the privacy laws and the information that they have been collecting on people using their platforms all throughout, and that might be just the right step for them to shout through the mountains about how they want the regulations all across internet. He stated that in the open letter in Financial Times, by the way, just on February 16. That's where it is taken from, as well as posted later on in the white paper on Facebook blog. He already advocated for stronger regulations back in the spring of 2019, as well as have cited European nations in getting some more regulation on internet across the seas as well. So he's not advocating that only in US. He's talking all across globally. There should be more and more regulations. He says, I believe a good regulation may hurt Facebook's business in the near term, but it will be better for everyone, including us, over the long term. And that's what he thinks. He also agrees that small companies are going to be the ones hurting the most by the changing, but he agrees that it's still needed for change. So all the blogs, if you're a blogger, if you host a comment, anywhere where somebody can leave a comment, anywhere where somebody can leave discussions, forum topics, anywhere, you would be hit with this if that would be removed. He says in the last quote here, regulation can have unintended consequences, especially for small businesses that can't do sophisticated data analysis and marketing on their own. And that's why we are here. If regulation makes it harder for them to share data and use these tools, that could disproportionately hurt them and inadvertently advantage large companies that can. Basically themselves. Still, rather than relying on individual companies to set their own standards, we'd benefit from a more democratic process. And therefore he does say that it is in fact gonna hurt small folks more than the big companies. The lobbyists like Disney, IBM, and others that we mentioned earlier trying to remove this law are doing it to try to squish Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and so on. But in fact, they're doing the opposite. If that would come into effect, it actually would benefit the bigger platforms, but would hurt the creators of the platforms and the smaller companies hosting the multiple user content.
If they weren't hiding behind all this and called it out and they truly wanted to clean up these platforms, I'd be all over it, because then they put laws in to make YouTube and them more able to enforce laws, grants, anything what it took to start bringing in more people to be able to handle it and actually clean up the exact problems that is happening on there. This is nothing more than to benefit some large companies when it's done. It's nothing but a smokescreen. It's theater antics, sounding all kumbaya, sweet, but in the end, it's nothing more than to benefit them. It doesn't clean up what's going on in here by any sense of the word. Most of the problems that are going on is not going to be by news agencies and opinions and stuff like that. We're talking about issues that don't fall into that category. It's laughable, the whole premise that they're setting up here. And Mark Zuckerberg, I wonder how he would have felt about this back when he was getting his company going. Mm-hmm. He would have been the first one at the Senate crying and bawling about how this is going to slow down small companies. Sometimes you forget where you came from. You know?
Yes, very true, guys. And, he got called out on this as well, put his all out there, but it wasn't fast enough as George Soros, actually, a very controversial figure, have answered in the open letter right away as well, slamming down Facebook's expression for more regulations, as well as just 2 days ago, one of the senators of U.S. Also wrote a piece in Washington Post saying, some have argued that repealing Section 230 would punish Facebook and Google for their failures. That's simply not true. The biggest tech companies have enough lawyers and lobbyists to survive virtually any regulation Congress can concoct. It's a startup seeking to displace big tech that would be hammered by the constant threat of lawsuits. And that's true. That's exactly the bottom line of this, of actual meaning of the law if it gets removed. Mm-hmm. How will potential removal of this section will affect each separate internet user or creator on a platform? It's still an open question as they go through the removal and changes of the act. But as we all know, and as we mentioned before, we already have experience of COPPA being implemented to users, something that was supposed to apply only to the platform itself and not creators, have affected millions of users out there, not only creators but also viewers. And we are pretty sure that that's exactly how it's going to happen with this. As always, all the laws and consequences get passed down to the creators, to the first base users of the platform. So we'll have to wait and see what changes are going to come. If you are in US, this is still in process. You can contact your local legislature and talk about this, because a removal of Section 230 will remove the freedom of speech on internet, which is the basic right in U.S.
Well, Pixel P was asking questions. So are you saying that they could sue me for things written on the blog? The provider on the web space will not be responsible. Do I understand correct? No, they will be responsible after this point. They'll be responsible for everything you write. Right now, they're not. But if this law was brought in, they would, which means the chance of them letting you write anything to begin with will be almost nil, unless you're a registered journalist, because they're not willing to take the chance in getting themselves in trouble and ending up in a bunch of lawsuits. That's the whole issue with it right now. That's the part of 230 that's in act right now, is that web provider is not responsible at this point. But if this goes through, everybody's responsible. If this gets any worse, a lot of people will shut down their channel. Oh my God, more than that, exactly, Andrew Honda, and way more than that. You know, and you got to think of all the blogs where you're getting your information every day. What we're doing right now is considered news on this part, and that, you know, what happens if, you know, it takes away a voice out of everybody, because everybody will be so on the hot wire for a lawsuit. They're going to be terrified to talk about anything. And that when platforms think they're going to get sued, they're not going to wait to have it happen. They're going to have to take very proactive stuff. Look at COPPA, like Xenia just brought up. Look at the sweeping changes. They're doing even more than they were regulated to do, because they just don't want the problem. So they're just showing. YouTube is hoping to get a bunch of TV shows on here, news shows on here, and call it a day. There you go. They're still bringing in a lot of revenue. We just put our feet up and watch it come in. And as a side note, because I know a lot lately, there's been a lot of advice every time something happens here. Oh, run to this one, run to this platform. There's not one that's immune from this. That seems to be the new answer all the time. Oh, get off of YouTube. Come on over here. Come over there. Very short, narrow-minded answer to it all, because it follows you. This is not something for YouTube or something for Facebook. This is something across the board. So just as a side note, remember that. There's no mercy in going to another platform that's going to save you. Yes, some of the newer ones might take a few more chances, but they can also be shut down that much quicker. That's usually what happens. Everybody is going through it from one to the other. Not one platform, no matter what it's into, is not immune from this. So just as a side note. So all web provider will probably close their doors, and we all have to start our own service. Well, I'm going to tell you, that's what's going to happen. Either going to have to start, they're going to want more people registered as journalists, and you're going to probably need liability insurance, et cetera, and everything like that to be able to do it, to cover yourself in case you get hit with a lawsuit. Hey there, Food Forest Permaculture. How are you? And welcome to everybody that's in here, folks. Sorry we've been talking and I haven't had much chance to say hi, but it's great to have you all in. If you guys can hit that like button, it really makes a big difference. We had to restart our live stream, and it got yellow coined once again anyways for our troubles. But if you guys could do that, that would be awesome. It's great to have you all in here. YouTube is trying to push to make the platform like RedTube. Yeah, they've already said they're already in talks at turning it into basically another Netflix and that as well and everything. So that's already well on its way for a while now. Good thing I have a lawyer on retainer, Inspired John says. You never know with him if he's joking or not. I never know when to take those things. God only knows with John.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
You know, and big creators too. They have their lawyers. You know, we speculate, of course, we don't know. But like PewDiePie was taking a break, most likely because he was taking a break with lawyers to figure out what he can do on his channel with regards to new COPA. You know, they can do that. We can't. And internet is becoming more and more restrictive.
It's a sad. The sad thing is there were so many places to clean it up, and it was up to providers to clean up the places to make it more pleasant. Look what we went through today. Like, that stuff should be cleaned up. I've said it before, and I'll say it time and time again. People should have to pay to be on YouTube as a creator. People should have to register with a credit card to be able to comment, like, etc. No fee for them, but they have to be registered. All they have to do is add accountability to it, and that clears up a lot of the messes right there. And this does not help in that part. I wouldn't feel my channel one bit protected by this law being retracted. Not a bit. Because it doesn't affect any of that. Even though they say they're doing that, I wouldn't see it getting rid of child exploitation because it's got nothing to do with it. It has zero. It should be clamping down on all the providers to have proper tools to manage and protect the people that are onto it. Yes, that I can stand for. I can be behind that, and if it takes a few of my liberties away, whatever, I can live with that. No problem. This doesn't do that. This is only to help out a fledgling, dying media, TV, newspapers, and all that, to give them a life by making them look like they're the only one that can properly bring you a newscast when it's said and done. And that's simply not the truth. Because if you look at it, just up until not long ago, a lot of journalists were jumping ship from those medias and coming over to places like here and starting off new because they were able to do a better job at what they did because they had more freedom to do so. They weren't as restricted. And I'm sorry, I know some people got into it before. Please don't make it political in the chat. It doesn't matter if it's Fox or CNN. It's the same garbage. It's the same mess. No, there's no difference in any of that. The point is we're talking about two big conglomerates and many other ones trying to save their fledgling businesses at the backs of all of us. So there's no kumbaya story in all this. There's no, we're going to be more protected and we're going to get better news than that. There's still going to be garbage floating all over the place because this doesn't help anything. That's the thing. You have to remember, like they talk about child exploitation. Unfortunately, stuff like that is big money business. And it's not considered as a blog, and it's not going to be done as a news article. That's got nothing to do with it. But if somebody writes about how it should be stopped and they're not a journalist, they can be removed and they can be sued. If somebody was part of child exploitation and tries to tell their story to help others to not get caught in that, guess what? Then they can be sued because they're not a journalist. So that's what that law does when it's said and done. That's a summary of what you get if that goes through. And that's pretty sad. I mean, look at us already. We get yellow coined all the time just for talking about YouTube. We're not telling people to go to another platform. We're not saying it's the worst thing. I love the thing. This has given us more opportunities than anything. I like to do something that we never thought we would do. Just got some areas that need to be cleaned up. But YouTube doesn't even want us talking about their platform. All's okay, YouTube. That's what they want us to say. You're doing great. Unless we do that, we get yellow coined. And with this, it goes 10 steps further. 10 steps further. And once again, it doesn't matter what platform you're on. I don't care where you run to. It's the same laws for everybody. Nothing has changed. That's not me saying that. It's the law. You can read into it the way the law governs it for all right now, not just YouTube. The same as that they redacted. It's not going to be just for YouTube or Facebook. It's for everything. So just want to put that out there. Stupid. So stupid.
That's right. So what are you guys' thoughts on this? What do you think? Is it going to directly affect us as YouTube creators? And that is our biggest concern right now, especially after having COPA experience at the beginning of this year. Will it affect you? Do you think it's the right thing to do? Maybe there is people, and maybe so. It is the right thing to do. They are trying to push it as, limiting harmful content online as the aim of doing this. What do you think? Is it the best way to do it? The only way to escape is to have the law written a certain way. Nowadays we go to Mine Non-Traditional Life is saying, nowadays we go to YouTube before we turn on the TV, and for them that is a problem. And that's exactly what it is. The lobbyist parts from Disney, from the major legacy newspapers that are lobbying from all different sides, that's exactly what they are doing. They haven't been caught up with the times of internet. They didn't jump on the train.
They laughed it off. They laughed it off for years.
Exactly.
Well, all their advisors were telling them, get on it. That's what the truth is.
Exactly. And now they're trying to scramble with all different types of laws, like COPPA, like removal of 230 section, to try to save their ass, basically, right now. And who has to suffer at the end? I don't think personally that they are thinking about the end user at the end. They're not thinking about the experience of the internet user, viewer, poster, whatever it is, they're thinking about their own businesses, and that's what it comes in the forefront. Once again, it's a very noble forefront. We want to remove the harmful content, remove child exploitation on internet. That is all well. We as a parents would be all shouting for it, but unfortunately, this is not the law that would change that. The removal of this law would not change that whatsoever. In fact, it would give more in for the government into information for people that are using platform, because they would be able to scan it much more freely, and also penalize much more freely people that they don't like opinions of. And that's what it exactly is. No matter if it would be the restrictions from the government, censorship from the government, or the censorship from the companies that don't like the way you talk about them. Either or, it's still censorship, and sometimes it feels that censorship now is much more worse than it was 20, 30, 50 years ago, which is quite ridiculous. You would think that was a new age, and especially internet, there would be more free way of talking, but it seems that there's more and more constrictive the further we go. We have here Rights Way. Good evening. Hello, how are you? Pixel Pia says, I can see how YouTube would close the chat possibility if this happens because they can't. Of course, anything. Comment section. Everything would have to be pre-approved. Basically, Twitter probably would have to cease to exist altogether because there would be no spontaneous replies. There would be no such things as I just post and go. Everything would have to go through the filtering system. And now, once again, we all know how filtering works so well, right? There are so many things out there that shouldn't be there, and so many things that gets scrapped just because of one word that AI didn't understand quite right. So we know how it works, but that would create a huge havoc all the way through. If COPPA affected only viewers and creators of the kids content, this will, if in place, will affect everyone, every blog, every forum, every Yelp review, every Twitter post, every comment on YouTube, every video out there, everything, because all of the platforms out there are multi-user ones, and that's exactly what this law is geared for right now, to protect people using multi-user platforms. To have the free speech. And I'm not American, I'm not even originally Canadian, but I know that one thing that Americans do hold dear to heart is their freedom of speech. And this is a direct hit to it.
Yep.
This is a direct hit to it because this is the law that is a base for freedom of speech on internet. Without it, it just does not work on internet. There will be no freedom of speech on internet without 230 section of the law.
Inspire John says, my last stream, I'll go live naked smoking a dovetail.
Now, my non-traditional life brings a great comment there, right there. I can tell you that UK is already having in plans their changes to regulations as well as Australia. Canada is in process as well. And as we mentioned, Facebook CEO has been prompting all across governments all across the board to bring more regulations into internet. So it wouldn't apply only to US. And now if the company is based in US like it is, and also if the majority of the viewers are in US, or any percentage of the viewers are in US, it would still apply to them. The same as with COPA. It doesn't matter that you are not in US. It doesn't matter that 50% of your viewers are not from US. If there is a viewer from US, it will apply to you. The same leads to here, because they have to blanket it all together. Macro Freedom, hello.
Yes, I was typing to him. There we go.
Yeah, we just
and CC is in here. I just want to say CC that was the winner. I just typed it. CC was the winner of tonight's random comment shout out. So congratulations to you, CC. Thank you so much for telling me, Jenny O'Brien.
Yeah, so, we already went through the official kind of the topic review as well. Now we're more talking about the freedom of speech and online and the restrictions of them that might be just happening just now.
Most definitely. That will happen to TikTok. It'll happen everybody. It's across the board. Once again, no platform is safe from that. None. Zero. Everybody is going to get the same. It's the law. If it goes through, and right now we're all covered across the board as a law, and if it's redacted, it hits every one of them. So, Corinne Torres, how are you? Welcome. Great to see you. Great to see all of you in the house, by the way. It's a pleasure to have you all. If you haven't hit that like button, please do. It really makes not a big difference, a gigantic difference, especially we're getting a lot of limited monetization and a lot of stuff happening to our channel today. So if you guys can help us out, that would be absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much.
That's right. And as always, we're going to add all the resource links down below in the description afterwards, so you can go yourself and check all of it out as well. No niche, hello.
Hey, how are you? Welcome. Great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. I'm just going to pause for a second to see who's in here, because I want to say hi to the Rights Way. We got the Trips are in the house. The Ace Deuce family. Sunny J. Shores is here. Stacy Here We Grow Again's in the house. Scully's House of Thrillers. We got Salvatore Vinciguerra. Pixel Pia Teaching and Learning. Philip Cockram. Our Family, Our Journey. No Niche, Houston, Texas as well. Welcome once again. My World, My Way, Helen. My Non-Traditional Life. Meme Resells. Lottery of Life. Laura Bruno. Koshev Shafet is in the house. Elsie Adventures. We have Jiva the Motivator. Junk Picks here. Jenny O'Brien. Inspired John. Husband versus Wife. Graceful Spirit and Ray. Gothic Rose. Free to Laugh Now. Food Galore Mako. Food Forest Permaculture. Featherstone is here. Faye M. Derica and Nicole. Daily Life and Nature. Corinne Torres. Kronos Sharon. Callie Christoph. CC. Ben Bird Persons here. Back Road Freedom, excuse me. God, Andrew, today. I'm so sorry. Awesome Heat 25. Anthony Holmes Outdoors. And in One News, it's great to have you all in here, each and every one of you. Whether I mispronounce your name or not, know how much we appreciate having you in the house. I'm here just eating some food. No problem, Chris 10. No worries. You need nourishment, my friend. You need nourishment. Thank you so much for letting us know you're here, though. It's great to have you. It's great to have each and every one of you guys. If you haven't hit that like button, please do. If you can tweet it out, that would be awesome. It helps us fight what's been going on lately, and man, have they been keeping us busy. But nonetheless, we got great channels here. Elsie Adventures, how are you? Great to see you. Is there anybody else I miss? More Wifey. There you go. Philip Cochran.
More Wifey. We just talked about you not so long ago.
Yeah. I love your cartoon characters. So cute. LOL. Thank you so much, Kelly. I forgot we even had those. I just came across them when I was cleaning up a folder, and they were perfect for what I was looking for. So thank you very much. Yeah, I had more of a beard back then, but nonetheless, you get who it is. You can make a connection. So
beard comes and goes.
That's right. That's right.
Oh my. This is our second live stream today.
Yep.
Did you know that? Yes, this is our second live stream today. So if you are here for the second time today, we do appreciate you a lot. Thank you so much.
And one news, you're going to be in Montreal on Saturday. Really? What's going on in Montreal? How's everyone doing?
It's cold.
Yeah. I know the outdoors, what do you call it's going on? The expo there for hunting and fishing.
Hunting and fishing. Yes. Well, it's going to be really cold if it is outdoors.
Yeah.
And
the first one was a doozy. Yes, it sure was. But thank you to all you guys for being there with us. We do appreciate it. I like Andrew's lipstick beard. They are free to laugh now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Welcome, Matthew Catalflamo. I hope I'm pronouncing it properly. Welcome. So do you guys, any more comments, any questions, folks, that we haven't covered yet, or anything you didn't understand, or thoughts or opinions about tonight's topic? Let us know. It's quite discouraging, I would say, is probably the word I would use the most to describe it. I hope and pray it won't go through. I'm worried the way the things go the last year and a half through the States that it's going to go through. We'll see, but I hope everyone will try to fight it with everything they got in them. I'm crossing my fingers because this is not good for anybody, especially everybody that's sitting in this chat right now. It is not good for us.
The thing with European Union, for example, if there is anything changes there, it usually takes forever for it to come into effect because every country of European Union has to agree to it, and then they have to vote again in European Parliament. So it takes forever, like it is with Article 13 or now Article 17. It's still not in effect because all the countries part of European Union has to accept it before it goes in effect. So before anything changes in Europe, we're going to know it long before that. In US, unfortunately, it happens like this. If the House votes, like it goes in a vote in a House, and then basically signed by President and gone. And then if you missed it, you don't even know about it. In a way, it is good for some things because it just speeds up the process. But for things like this that can impact a lot of our lives, like basically all of our lives, not only in US but globally, it should be brought to more attention. We hope that more media news agencies will be picking up on this as it goes. It's still fresh.
Independent news agencies, not the major ones that benefit from it, selling it for all it's worth.
That's right. They're definitely going to be trying to squish it for sure in all the searches and such. So we'll have to wait and see, how does it affect us and what are new YouTube content changes coming effect if this comes with a vote in the following year.
Because you're asking, Food Galore Mexico was asking about freedom of speech. Yes, especially by Constitution standards onto it, most definitely it's going to restrict it. It's you got to realize it's very different from most other countries outside of the United States. Freedom of speech is kind of a different ball. I think it's more for on the outside. What's bothering us is the way it's being set up. It sucks about the freedom of speech part. It's more about how a dying, fledgling business that still has a lot of money backing it from many decades of succeeding is able to manipulate something that's revolutionizing the world. I think that's what is harder than anything else to put a handle on for all of us. It's absolutely ludicrous how something that's owned by 5 generations of wealth and on its own merit is just not getting very far anymore because they chose to ignore when changes were coming, and now are actually maybe going to reverse such a worldwide progress that's been made. You have to think about this for a minute. Think about the Arab Springs and all that. Imagine where it would be if people didn't have access to send news out when everything was regulated and floodgated and guarded. That's the power of this generation that we live into, this era that we live into. And you have a group of people, a small minority, of people who want to put an end to that just so you have to pay to get access to what they have, for them to have the control ruling that they've been used to for so many years, because unless you had the money they had, your voice wasn't heard. There's many things like that. Look what's been going on with China. For Canadians, I'll bring up an example. By holding the CFO of Huawei, people have been able to reach out and say what's going on behind there as the control over information closes and closes. And it's funny for a government right now that is so hell-bound on pushing freedom and the right to liberty and talking about the Constitution on an almost minutely basis and tweeting about it. And on that side, looking down on a lot of other countries for controlling their people. To me, this move is no better. This is just another way. This is just another form of doing it and silencing people from having an actual voice once they've gained one. It's basically shutting them down right in their steps. And that's what's the real troubling part of it. It's actually pushing us back. And yes, it's in the States, but it affects all of us. The same as when in the EU, it hurt. But I mean, the States, what are channels? If any of us are doing pretty good on here, the majority of our viewers come from the States. These companies are all owned within the States. It's right to the root of where this evolution is taking place. People don't realize that Canada is a leader in a lot of ways for what's going on in the technical revolution. But that said, we're a small country. The advances, the rewards on what they're developing here is coming through the United States in these large companies. And where is it going to stop once this starts? If they want to silence people from even being able to get on top of something, what's to stop them once they get going from controlling the products that come through to keep people from even have a chance of getting their voice back? There is so much to lose in this decision. It's sickening. It's honestly sickening. Imagine if it's like finding the cure for some major disease and then buying it up and then not letting anybody have it except for 4 other people. Really a sad event. Just taking progress and squishing it under their feet, in my opinion.
Because obviously no new companies are going to be trying to set up new platforms. There's going to be no new social media platforms, apps, and things like that. That is all going to slow down. So essentially it's going to slow down the development because of human resources, really, because and technology, because it has been becoming a part of our daily life. It almost becomes a part of our evolution as human beings. All the technology that we're using on a daily basis, and is definitely going to be slowing it down. And I seen the comment here. Well, they can't do that. It's freedom of speech is a constitutional right. They can't do that directly, but they can restrict what you can actually post on. They can just form it. It's like trying to put a square into a circle shape. Well, okay, you can do it, but it's still a circle, so it's not going to fit there, right? So you have your opinions, you can have them, but the way they will form those platforms after removing the law just are not going to have the possibilities of you putting that square there, if you know what I mean, So nobody will be restricting your freedom of speech as a whole, as constitutional right with this, but nevertheless, it will be adjusted accordingly, so it follows the law and really the censorship of government or the companies involved. And the part that is really shocked us investigating this was about Disney and other bigger companies that have been changing the laws one by one. We were laughing, kind of, guessing that COPPA was a conspiracy theory law change, and the Disney and other companies were behind it to push their programming out there and squish YouTube and other platforms of video creators. But it ends up being true. Like with this, it actually says that they are the ones lobbying from one side. No, they're only one part of this, but they're still the part of it. So what is the next step? What law will be next for them to try to be on top of all things internet. What is else there that they can possibly lobby to change? Because after the changes of this, it's going to be total chaos. I agree in the chat. Really, I think we're gonna go back to just talking with each other face to face. It's all gonna go back to the roots, basically.
Yep. I mean, you look at all the stuff that's said and done and exposed in that. How can somebody have a platform justifiably and say I'm not? There's no way they can handle it. There's no way at that point if it becomes that heavily enforced. I don't know. Pretty bleak sounding, I'll tell you that. It's pretty bleak sounding. But it's great having you guys all in here, folks. At least we got rid of the spammers from earlier. Yes, you certainly did. You guys are troopers and then some. And I want to commend you once again for that. Thank you so very much. You guys did an absolutely spectacular job. I can't thank you enough. Andrew, now you might have to rate one of the... Yeah, rate this one 18 or over. Oh, yeah. It happens. Exactly. They're already controlling the government phone by where they can tap in and listen to your conversation. So what else is next? Well, yeah, this is on a mass scale. This is like basically putting a bandana over everybody's mouth, and too bad. It's just too bad. Once again, we got limited monetization on it when I thought it was actually a very valid talk. And that's why if you look at the thumbnail for the point about free speech being censored, but also I put a blur on the word there at the end just to try and keep the algorithm happy. That's why we didn't write exactly what there was. Probably free speech was the one that majorly triggered it. It's most likely. So, there's not much that's really sacred. You can, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it anymore.
So if you can pass the word out and share this live stream out with information, I would really appreciate that. If you are in the US, if you can make a change, make a difference, it's still time to do it. It's just at the very beginnings of the discussion. As I said, the first workshop between the lawmakers and the lobbyists, open workshop, only have been held today. There's going to be a couple more before they decide to put it in the vote. So there's still time to do something about this. If you're in the U.S., please do something.
Sunny J. Shores, I got to call Mark Meadows and complain, the North Carolina governor. Hopefully I can still vote.
Yeah, well, and especially with the voting coming up in the U.S., I'm sure that is something that a lot of people would like to hear. I'm sure a lot of people in the U.S. would not like their freedom of speech being squished,
I agree.
And I'm sure they're going to try to pass it before the government changes. So that's how it always works with these controversial laws that nobody hears about till they're voted on. So if you can make a difference, and if you think you can't make a difference, sometimes even the smallest call or letter or email can make somebody think it over. So it definitely makes a difference. Everybody can make a difference.
Yep, that's right. Never underestimate the power you have. We take our freedom of our speech seriously, Koshev says.
Yes, exactly, and we really should. Everyone needs to put age restricted on their channel. That's what I've been hearing. No,
that's a bad piece of advice.
Whoever was telling you that, my God, don't go there anymore.
They're trying to slow down your channel if that's what they're doing. They're really trying to slow it down.
By the way, if you're asking about COPA, we do have a whole playlist about COPA, and I don't know how many live streams and shows we did explaining all in detail, so you can always go to our homepage and check it out if you have still any questions about that. I'm pretty sure we answered almost all of them in different ways right there.
There you go, folks. So yeah, definitely on our homepage. It's all available. You guys are absolutely awesome, folks. Thank you so much for being here. I think it's our time to head out onto it. But appreciate all your support. Once again, a big shout out to everybody today. Remember, folks, same as every other time, last person to leave a comment in the chat will get a free shout out, as well as putting an on-topic comment on this live stream after it's done. So last person in the chat wins a chance to have a free shout out, as well as leaving an on-topic comment in here as well after the live stream. Some of you can leave comments actually before the live stream's done. I found that out. Why some can, some can't. The odd one says they can.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yep. So that's fine by me. If you can do it now, all the better. If not, the live stream will run for about 3 minutes or so after we're done, roughly. So it's not much time to wait for your chance to get one. So, Metal Music Maniac. Wait 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. You caught my eye. Caught my eye, as they say.
And while Andrew's doing that, I want to prompt you, if you are interested in the full version of our chat today, we have written up a piece in the Medium, which is a platform for independent journalism and opinion pieces. So if you want to check that out, the full chat in text is available on Medium. I'm going to share the link down below, and you can join us there. We're going to try to put more stuff there in the full version, since we are getting a little bit censored on YouTube. A little bit. So check out our article on the Medium about internet censorship.
And remember, folks, tomorrow is our 2-year anniversary since we came back to YouTube. So looking forward to seeing you guys, celebrating with you guys. You'll get the notification. If you guys can share the hell of it, it'd be awesome. And two who I just met here, Metal Music Maniac, great to meet you. I'll probably talk about that a bit tomorrow, about our background. But I used to work for a music company here in Canada. We were the distributor of Marshall and Pearl and that. So there you go. You're speaking my language. So definitely I'll probably touch on some more of that tomorrow. It's great to have you all in here, folks. You're absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for having our backs once again today. You guys are amazing. You should have capes. You should be superheroes. You are superheroes. You should just have the capes to go with it. I kid you not.
You can be heroes without capes.
Alrighty, folks. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. A ton of love to you all. We'll see you really soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now. Be well.